So now that I'm finally over the coof and just got back from a really nice vacation with my lovely wife, it's time to get some entertainment on another episode of today's News Tonight. Why it feels like movies are getting longer. There was Spider-Man No Way Home, which ran for 2 hours and 28 minutes, and part 1 of Dune, which lasted 2 hours and 35 minutes. The Marvel Cinematic Universe installment Eternals went for 2 hours and 37 minutes, while No Time to Die spanned 2 hours and 43 minutes. There is something to say with long-winded, overly dramatic, and just painfully long to sit through these long movies. As more people started to get televisions in their homes, studios were forced to complete and started making sweeping epics that would bring people into movie theaters. That changed in the 70s and 80s with the home video boom. As video cassettes started to dominate the market, there was pressure for Hollywood to keep movies short enough to fit on a standard VHS tape. Now, this is obviously well before you youngins and your Netflix and your streaming services. But back in the day, back in the 90s, early 2000s, we actually would have to go to a store to get our video cassettes in order to bring a film home to you, or you would buy it. You could either rent it or buy it. This is some great childhood memories of mine. We would literally spend, I think, upwards of like 2 hours just finding the perfect movie to bring home. And sometimes we'd bring home at least 2 or 3 movies every weekend. As at home movie consumption shifted to DVDs, Blu-ray, and eventually streaming, shorter running times became less and less of a priority. They need to be able to edit these long, epic ballads like in the theater and bring them down to under 2 hours. I really feel like an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes should be like the sweet spot, and I don't think we should go over more than 2 hours. Anderson points to James Cameron's Avatar in 2009 as a turning point. As streaming platforms like Netflix started to soar in popularity, the massive commercial success of Avatar at 2 hours and 42 minutes signaled to filmmakers and studios that splashy visual effects, extravaganzas, could motivate viewers to leave the comfort of their own homes to see a movie on the big screen. Yeah, maybe, but again, like, people just want to watch good films. They just want to see good character progression. They want to have a good protagonist and antagonist. They want to have good dialogue. They want a good backdrop. They want a good background. They want history between these characters from the past, and they just got to be good storytellers. Many of the highest grossing films have long running times, and judging by the success of Avengers Endgame and other long blockbusters that followed, viewers seem to have no problem sitting through a 3-hour film, or at least their interest in the film seems to outweigh any grips about its length. The main reason that, a person like me is going to go to the theater, I'm going to pay extra for nice seats, as well as luxury seating. I'm going to pay extra and get some snacks, is because I want to support the film because the film is good, number one. And number two, it's not about the running time. It's about, is this film good? I'm going to sit through it because I've seen all the other films preceding. That's why Endgame was so good, was because we had all of these films that preceded before it, building the background of each and every character and the things that happened in their lives leading up to this point, but also the Avenger movies that came after. There was 3 of them, right? So, of course, if you like the first one, you like the second one, you're going to watch the third one. The 2-hour film has had a great run over 100 years, but it's become difficult to work in, he said at an industry conference in 2018. I'm not sure that the generation that's coming up will see the 2-hour film as the dominant form of storytelling. It seems that viewers will have to get used to holding their bladders or stay at home. And that's another thing you got to think of, because not only do we have, young kids watching these films, elderly, we got grandma and grandpa that want to go and see Avengers the Endgame, and they don't want to sit through a 3 or 4 hour film. They're going to have to take, 1 or maybe 2 potty breaks, and it's important to allow people to do that. Like, I really feel like the Endgame series, they could have done 6 2-hour, 45-minute films. People would have just ate it up, and I feel like they would have made even more money if they did that, because not only would it be great to expand it and allow other people to come and see it that wouldn't normally go out, if it's short enough and they know that they can, work on their personal facilities before, and then they can make it through the whole thing, a lot more people will go out to the theaters and watch it. But I don't know. I could be wrong about all of this, and I'm sure y'all will let me know in the comment section down below. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click that damn bell so you don't miss a content release on our channel. And from our family to yours, good night.